Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Iqbal bin Ahmad Jamali. I am 17 years old and I'm from Madrasah Tarbiyah Islamiyah, Takam. I would like to read you a story from one of Ali Benjamin's book, The Things About Jellyfish. A quick synopsis. It is about one character, Susie, a bright girl who has experienced trauma, the loss of her best friend, Freddie, to drowning. At a certain moment in the grief process, Susie stopped speaking unless she had to answer a direct question. Susie's mom tells her that there is no explanation for Freddie's death. Things like this sometimes just happen. Susie can't understand this knowing where the swimmer Freddie was and believe there must be a real cause. One day, she joined a field trip to the aquarium. Susie learns about a tiny, nearly invisible type of jellyfish with a deadly sting, and sets out to prove that this could have been the cause of Freddie's death. Flashback chapter told in the present tense show that the girl friendship was strained to the point of breaking, and Susie is grappling with the loss of her friend on two levels, and the guilt that accompanies her last cruel act toward Freddie. Meanwhile, Susie slowly grows to trust a teacher who knows how to be there without being invasive, and a boy with ADHD who likes her for her. What's good? First, the prose in this novel is good. Second, the way Susie's relationship with Freddie unfolds in a 13 present tense chapter is excellent. The present tense subtly ties in with Susie's quantum physics notion that time is relative and all moments are happening and have happened and will happen at the same time. Third, although the not talking thing was initially annoying, it does cleverly allow Susie to live exclusively in her mind, where she cultivates important misunderstandings, and eventually is a relief when she acknowledges that you can't really learn if you are silent. Finally, the early childhood friendship between Freddie and Susie felt authentic to me. The way young children enter smoothly and quickly into deep friendship and approach them with no biases. What didn't work as well? The novel is divided into sections that follow the scientific method as taught by Mrs. 13, a teacher Susie admires. For some reason, rather than give the novel an organic structure, it winds making out feel constructed. Each time a section was titled the scientific method, it became a moment when I saw the author rather than the story. Autism spectrum disorder. It seems to be on the autistic scales to me, though she's high functioning and extremely verbal. I admire the fact that the book itself doesn't label Susie. She is simply being her authentic self, but I'm quite relaxed. That reader didn't factor it into their understanding of her character. An awkward happy ending. In the end, a girl named Sarah, whom Susie begrudgingly admired and was curious about all year, will clearly become her new best friend for one thing. Susie was only called Sarah, for instance, glaring at her when Mrs. 13 asked her to join them in watching the science video. So, it's hard to understand why Sarah would seek Susie's friendship. Particularly when the popular girls want to take Sarah under their wing for another, there's a fine line between saying there are other friendships after loss, which I think Justin represents, and another best friend will take away your sorrow. Furthermore, why does Justin take interest in Susie? This is one of the problems with totally silent protagonists. In the real world, all children will ignore silent Susie, even the misunderstood boy. And what was the point in his nicknaming her Bella? I understand he sees her in her beauty, but what boy actually decided to call a girl by the wrong name? Consistently, even to her mother, over the phone for the first time he calls. Inconsistency in Susie's age and smart. Sometimes Susie was precocious, sometimes she was deaf. I don't object to that in principle, since children areas of their lives. But I do object when it seems that the uncharacteristic denseness is the author way manipulating the plot. For instance, Susie is a child who can explain the concept of a riptide on the spot for us, but has never thought of it as a possible cause of Franny's drowning. She can research any subject on the planet, but doesn't look into whether underage international travel is allowed or know what a travel visa is. At 12, she doesn't know which number on the visa are necessary for purchasing something online. Susie would not accept sometimes just happen as an explanation, and decides she will find out the real cause of Franny's death. But this is an artificial tweaking of the difference between cause and reason on the author's part. To get the plot moving, by definition, jellyfish things just happen. So how will proving that Franny died of a jellyfish sting help her? Obviously, this realization is her journey, and she summarized it nicely at the end. There isn't a reason for Franny's death. No matter the cause, when it verged on babyish that she didn't understand all along that her mother meant exactly that. Who will want to read this? At the end of the book, this was the question I was unsure about. It's quite appealing to adults who love middle grade literature, but there are no small injection of humor in this novel to give joy for children. It takes itself quite seriously. How many readers have had their best friend die and will feel a strong empathy for the protagonist? Only very cerebral, voracious, middle grade reader will be happy to consume this book, and then I wager they will forget it fairly quickly. That's all from me. Bye!